So, does anyone remember Sunnyv2? Like, I'm genuinely curious. I, in my feed, never get anything about Sunnyv2 anymore. Like, when he was popular, I would get his latest videos and uh, only his latest videos. But I know that he hasn't posted for 6 months. Actually, first, I should say what Sunnyv2 was. So, Sunnyv2 was a channel which was about internet drama and downfall videos. That was its bread and butter. And when it was peaking, it would expose scams like, you know, the wild building videos or something like that. It would expose that. It would expose other related controversies like how uh, KSI and Dan DDM's feud led the song that he released to flop horribly. That and that was what he was talking about. And another thing he would talk about was downfall videos. Basically, when he talked about your channel, bro, he was a grim reaper. If he talked about your channel, it was deader than the dodo. And his videos would be very highly edited and high quality that would talk about these topics. And he would talk about just general happenings of the internet in a sense. But he would talk about people's downfall and would talk about them getting cancelled. So he, I guess, learned how to not get cancelled because he himself got into a controversy. Basically, he was talking about a TikToker faked having tics. I mean, not that tics that you're thinking about, a different kind of tics. It's a mental disease, I think. So faked having them. But Sunnyv2 refused to call the person by their actual pronouns, they and them, because he showed a document that showed that the person he was talking about, Dixon Roses, like to call themselves by the pronouns they and them. And so he got the allegations of being homophobic, which, hey, I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but really wasn't that major. And his progress continued because he was so famous. Basically, if he talked about some topic, it was basically implicitly trusted. And or if he talked about your channel, he brought death to your channel. And after that, another controversy came up with him talking about Chris Ava Tyson, who was on MrBeast's video and he changed his gender. So Sunnyv2 started saying, this will be the worst decision that Mr. Beast ever made. Keeping this guy on his team, that's the worst thought he could ever make. Because it's so bad. And he proved some cherry-picked examples, so showed shit like that. And then the allegations of him being homophobic came up again, which had a lot of water. I mean, considering he made an entire video on this topic. But it is important to note eventually his prophecy came true. Ava Chris Tyson was accused to be a pedophile, and he was acting inappropriately towards minors by talking about him sending them pics or them sending him nude pics, that kind of shit. And it kind of blew up on the internet, and that is what caused him, Eva Chris Tyson, to be removed from the MrBeast team. And another controversy also stirred up related to that, which affected MrBeast himself, which caused his indomitable reputation to be ruined in a sense. But that topic I don't know much about. Outside of that, it did ruin a lot of his reputation. Like before that incident, MrBeast was one of those channels you could implicitly trust. His reputation was that high. Like most people just trusted him implicitly. But after that, his reputation kind of plummeted quite a bit. But after these allegations of him being homophobic, people wanted him to get, cancelled. But as one of his things that he said throughout a lot of his videos was that if you don't really react to getting cancelled or people saying that you should be cancelled, well, you probably won't get cancelled, because if you don't talk about it, your viewers, the people actually watching you, probably won't care enough to search up your shit and or don't know what shit you have done or have not done. But that was the allegation made against him, and he just kind of didn't do shit about it and got away with it. Literally nothing happened, which caused him to continue posting. But I think he took a break after that video, but afterwards he started posting again till 7 months ago, where he abruptly stopped after, talking about mobile game drama. Like his last video was about Plants vs. Zombies. And that was his, that is as far as he has posted. And after that, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know why he stopped posting. I don't know what caused him to stop posting. I just don't know. If you, my viewer, know why he did that, hey, that would be a great help. But as far as I'm concerned, he just stopped. Maybe the allegations got to him. Maybe he just got bored. Maybe something else happened. But in his prime, he was fairly well known. As I said, if he talked about your channel, it was dead. And he talked about a few other topics that were, semi-relevant, not fully serious, not heavy topic, not none of that stuff, but semi-relevant stuff and semi-interesting stuff. Stuff along the lines of wilderness construction videos are fake, that kind of stuff. I personally was watching him at the time. I did not know about the controversies around him. At some point in time, his reputation got much worse, probably because he started to, be allegedly homophobic. I have no proof, so allegedly it is, which probably was one of the reasons he was less liked among the wider YouTube community, but I could be wrong. And personally, I really liked his videos. Just the videos, not, but I don't know the guy personally. I just liked watching his videos and just very high quality and found them fun to watch. So that was why I kept watching his channel for a long while until he stopped posting, which to this day, I don't get why he stopped. Because as far as I'm concerned, the allegations died down like a week or two afterwards, maybe much later, but did die down. And in a sense, his prediction did come true. But yeah, it's not to say that he was right in any means, in any sense of the word, because he wasn't predicting that the guy was gonna do this. He was just saying that you change your gender, that's just bad, you're bad. And I'm not sure that I agree with that idea, but in the end, that predictions thing did come true, not to absolve him of any sort of, wrongdoing, because being homophobic isn't great. That was why he got, banished to his home, I guess. I don't know what happened afterwards. I really don't. Because as far as my research goes, his allegations were to be homophobic. And that's what he was getting, punished for. And since he literally never responded to any of these allegations, as far as I know, probably the allegations were thought to be true. Because, I mean, if you don't respond to it, I mean, there is no proof that the allegations that are made against you aren't true. Which brings me back to an idea that if you're on the internet and have an internet related oopsie, or don't have an internet related oopsie, both work. But if these allegations are made against you, I mean, you could just not talk about it or just ignore it. I mean, that works most of the time, because if you said something in the past, if you did something, I mean, did is different. If you said something in the past, that's different. But if you said something in the past, well, it's not like you whining or crying or doing anything along those lines is going to change that. That's the past. You can't change it. You have said it. It's been said. You can't just undo it. But if you have done something, that's much more consequences, much worse consequences, because that you just can't ignore that, because depending on what you have done, you could just end up in jail, or lose your entire career, because if you have done the thing, well, your career is basically over. It is all to say, play nice on the internet, because you're not anonymous. No matter how much you feel like it, you're not. Even a person who has not shown his face, has no anonymity nonetheless. The internet has all your data. Probably find you easily, find your face, find your, age, your address, everything pretty easily. Because the internet isn't anonymous, even if it feels as so, it's just not. That's the entire takeaway, is that don't do any sort of funny business that you think you're gonna get away with, because depending on what you have done, you may be doxxed or worse. So really choose carefully before doing shit, and or before posting shit that you may regret, because man, I don't know how many stories I've seen about people just posting about shit that you really shouldn't talk about. I mean, if you don't want your life to be ruined, just don't talk about that. Like a bit ago, I heard about a controversy where TikToker said the N word in, I think it was messages or on the internet. I don't remember the details exactly, but that caused their career to be ruined to shit. And that caused the TikToker in question, a very forgetful but extremely angry person, to get their entire career upended, and their following to hate them, because, and really, to me, it's just stupid to think that anything you're saying on the internet is anonymous, because no matter what you say, maybe one day it will eventually come back to bite you in the ass. So just don't say shit that you might regret, because if you piss off the wrong people, either they will find you, or they will find that incriminating information and then find you. The internet is a very wacky place, honestly, most of the time, but when shit gets serious, it's genuinely scary. So the gist of the story is that this dude who made good videos started a controversy which he ignored, and which died down, and then started the controversy again, because, and then ignored the controversy, then it probably died down, then eventually stopped posting, because hey, maybe it's some personal shit, who knows. It's not really that important to know what could possibly lead to a person not posting for 7 months after putting so much effort into it. And the gist of this entire video is that don't do shit that you may regret. Just don't. No matter how it feels in the moment, just don't. I mean, if you're gonna call somebody the N word, check your skin color. If it's white, just don't. If it's yellow, maybe a bit of light brown, maybe don't. But if it's dark brown or black, hey, that's your right. So yeah, my opinion, it's kind of just really a bit weird to think that this person who was so popular, so well liked in the YouTube community as a whole, but lost all of his likeness points, and stopped because he talked about shit that he shouldn't have, that he really shouldn't have. Like, some opinions you should really keep to yourself. Like, that's just a fact. Like, if you're gonna be racist, if you're gonna be homophobic, just keep it to yourself. Do not post it on the internet. It's not to say that I'm supporting these type of people. It's just, if you don't want your life to be ruined, just keep your opinions to yourself. That's just a public service announcement at this point. Keep your opinions to yourself. Nobody wants to hear them. So yeah, I really wanted to talk about this person for a long time since I've been a fairly avid viewer of his content for quite some time, and I enjoy quality that videos were presenting. And at that time, I was really liking how he was speeding up, production, which made it all the better when week by week or every 2 weeks you would get a very high quality dose of the internet. It was great, but seeing this kind of is sad. But it's not unexpected. If you say something stupid on the internet, you will probably regret it because it's the internet. Especially if you say it on Twitter, because like everyone on there is always 24/7 pissed. Just don't. Just you will regret it because people want to find something to be pissed at. If you don't want to be that something, just don't post on Twitter. Just don't use Twitter. You know, X, formerly known as Twitter. That's my mistake. My mistake. I mean, no, you're just forgetting the most famous, social media name. It's kind of hard. It's a bit hard, but X, formerly known as Twitter. Don't post on X, formerly known as Twitter. Just don't. So yeah, that's about it for me. Bye.